Hiya, my name's Conrad Wilson, and this is week 1 of creating simulated fluid for games. I started this project by asking, how does one simulate water? Because I had no idea. My answer led to the subject of fluid dynamics. I started learning about defining the bounds of simulation. In this case, this is the shape of the ground and how flow occurs within a body of water here. Breaking this down, I learned about how flow affects the velocity of the vector field within water and how viscosity works, which is the inner friction between water particles. And that visually, you can have visuals as a completely different layer that can be applied on top of the base body shape, which can be separately based on physics. From there, I looked into creating shaders that blurred water particle effects together, from this to this, for example. And here I found formulas that detect the type of diffusion shader. Furthermore, that should apply, which can be used to create bubbles and foam, and then I went on to research formulas that identify the kind of stream path in the fluid flow, which can be used to impact the shader output. From there, I went into Unity, and I created a prototype. And here I used lots of spheres to create, or to act as water particles, and I dropped them into a box from one side, and blimey, is it laggy. I kind of identified this from being all of the rigid bodies and colliders being too computationally heavy for the system, especially for live games. But this could be fine for rendered projects that can be rendered 1 second over many hours. But this isn't the kind of approach that I need. I need to break this down. So from there, I researched a bit more into soft bodies and how you can set these up with joints, and but this approach here would only work for more kind of balloon-filled water kind of thing. So that's something to take into mind. But this, in form, led me to mesh deformation, where I can transform the vertices within a mesh from external forces. This can be used for if I drop a object into the water that can affect the waves. And as this is more computationally effective, I could even use this as my basis of my my engine if I wanted. And you can use this for multiple jelly effects or changing the actual collider itself to then impact the gameplay. But all of this would lead into kind of 2 different directions I would like to take from here, or one of the directions I'd like to take. Oh yeah, also furthermore I looked into some buoyancy stuff, which is interesting. But yeah, the 2 directions I can take is either go down a simple mesh deformation path, where I can create some wave controls and have this affected by external forces, or I can go down the route of more accurately simulated bodies of water, where I have to prioritize efficiency to allow the system to not be completely lagged out by the simulation computations, specifically if the focus is not on the water in the game. So if you can give me any feedback from this. Sorry for the long video, I'm really into this kind of stuff very suddenly, haven't touched it before, and I'd like to hear anything you got. Thanks.